Hello and how's it going? I'm Daryl Barnes.
And I'm Olivia Deem. Welcome to The Current,
A news magazine show where we bring you knowledge from around town in under 8 minutes.
So without wasting any more time, Daryl, why don't you give us a rundown on today's show?
Coming up on today's show, we'll take a look at the history of South Elgin, talk to some locals about the historic Elgin watch factory, and take a deep dive into the world of locomotives. But before we get to all that, current reporter Rafael Manjarez is at Seba Park to tell us more about what makes it so special.
Thanks, Daryl. Here at Seba, there's a wide range of things to do, from fixing your bike, fishing, picnicking, playing cornhole, or just going down the slide. Starting development in 2011, it took 4 years for the park to finally open in 2015, winning the Illinois Design and Development Award that same year. To someone passing by, it may seem like an ordinary park, but if you take a closer look, you'll find something truly extraordinary. Seba Park is one of 3 in the state of Illinois, as stated by the South Elgin Village Hall, to cater to the impaired and disabled. Walking into the park, you'll see that there are ramps, swings, and slides that all kids can use. What takes this park a step up from the other parks, though, is that all around you'll see that there are signs that teach kids how to read Braille or speak sign language, letting them communicate and bond with each other. Although it's winter, speaking with locals, we were able to find out that over the spring and summer, kids and adults spend time with each other, uniting the community as a whole. Seba Park is a park for all children. While Seba Park has fulfilled its purpose, the village of South Elgin isn't planning on stopping anytime soon, as there's an addition in the works for the park.
Every town has that part of history that people single out as the thing that put it on the map. PJ Spitzer takes us through the streets of downtown Elgin to talk about the place that gives Elginites that nostalgic pride.
We're here at the Clock Tower Plaza, which I realize has a lot of rich history here. Not to the strip mall itself, but to the plot that it was built upon. As a resident of Elgin myself, I know that the Elgin Watch Factory once stood here. But how many other locals know of its history? Let's take a look.
Do you know what stood here before the strip mall complex?
No.
Back in the 60s, or up until the 60s actually, there was a watch factory here. It was actually the biggest in the world at a point, and they tore it down in the 60s. So
What watch factory?
it was the Elgin Watch Factory.
Elgin Watch. Yes, I have heard of that. It was actually connected to the railroad.
The Elgin Watch Company opened up in 1864, and it was the largest site dedicated to watchmaking in the world. This 35-acre plot of land was home to many award-winning self-winding wristwatches, as well as the invention of military equipment during World War II. In 1964, 100 years after its creation, the factory closed due to shortage of production.
Would you think it would have been a better idea to keep it for historical purposes and to teach people just for history purposes?
To be honest, I would say yes. We have so many strip malls and areas where we could shop. This could have been something that was historic.
I think that it's nice have the clock factory.
Obviously, time has passed, but it seems like Elgin's looking more towards the future instead of dwelling on the past.
Have you ever wondered how your town came to be or who came to be there? Lucky for us, Tara Konieczny has the answers to these questions about our town's origin.
Here lies the first ever house built in South Elgin in the early 1800s. Well, in those years, South Elgin used to be called Clintonville. Built by James Peaslee and his carpenter brother, this house is rumored to be haunted because when James and his wife died in 1881, their ashes are said to be buried in the front yard. James isn't the only settler remembered in the village. Settlers started coming to Clintonville as far back as 1835 with Joseph Coron, who arrived in the spring and settled 3/4 down the river. Fast forwarding to 1849, the village started to gain some traction and was partially laid out by 2 important men, Dr. Joseph Teft and B.W. Raymond. G.M. Woodbury soon built a flour mill on the east side for the growing community. All these important men in South Elgin's history are found named after many streets in the community today. Although James Peaslee is the only settler we have a physical house from to live on his legacy, it turns out we don't know just how much every day we continue to have this history live through us.
How far do the oldest trains in the Fox Valley Trolley Museum date back to? 1850, 1887, 1902, or 1920? 1887 is the year that the oldest train in the Fox Valley Trolley Museum dates back to. For more on local locomotives, try saying that 5 times fast, we're taking a deep dive with Anthony Reyes.
Trains have been created as a means of transporting passengers and carrying cargo since 1804 and are a big part of our world even today. Being as prominent as it is now, it raises the question, why have trains reached such popularity? Well, How about we take a deep dive and find out? Amongst the greatest human improvements throughout history, trains have served a key role in the advancement of our ever-growing world. Trains were powered by steam, electricity, and diesel fuel, although one of the earliest trains in the United States of America was powered by horses that walked on treadmills. Fun fact, the company running the Jacobite service provided Warner Brothers with a train used as the Hogwarts Express in all of the movies and allowed them to use the Jacobite's route for filming. The Fox Valley Trolley Museum is home to trains new and old, located here in South Elgin, but has recently suffered from vandalism that has cost the museum $110,000 in repairs. You can visit their website for more information and donate. Looks like this is my stop. Well, thanks for joining me on my deep dive journey.
And that's about all we have time for you all today.
We hope you were able to gain a little knowledge about our town.
And we encourage you to dig deeper into what makes your town unique.
On behalf of us and the rest of the crew here at The Current,
Thank you for tuning in.
I'm Daryl Barnes.
And I'm Olivia Deem. We'll see you guys next time.